Congressman John Katko welcomes 51 people in the city of Syracuse who became naturalized citizens today. Coming up on Citrus TV News, Chris Venzon will be live from Dineen Hall with more details on the ceremony.
And graduate student assistants were protesting the university's decision to change their health care plan. Citrus TV's Zachary Levine was at the protest this afternoon and will be live in studio with more on the students' demands.
We saw the sun all morning and afternoon today, but now the clouds have come in. Can we expect to see the sun again this week? I'll tell you in my full weather forecast. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
As far as big days go, today is one of the biggest for 51 people who are now officially U.S. citizens after taking their oath of allegiance today in Dineen Hall. Good evening, I'm Elissa Candiotti.
And I'm Mike Riccardi. Thank you for joining us. As immigration remains a controversial national topic, SU's College of Law hosted a citizenship naturalization ceremony this afternoon.
Citrus TV reporter Chris Venzon is outside Dineen Hall to tell us about the ceremony and what the new citizens will remember for the rest of their lives.
Right. Thanks, Elissa. So a pretty special event going on here today at Dineen Hall. The College of Law put on a naturalization ceremony for 51 immigrants who became officially citizens of the United States today. And some big names showed up to welcome these citizens to the United States, guys like John Katko, Joni Mahoney. But it was Chol Majak who stood out. He's with the New York State Senate. He represented them. He talked about his journey from South Sudan to Central New York.
It's a beautiful place to be. As a lost boy, I have found home. And I hope that story resonates with you as new Americans.
So all of these people, all of these immigrants had to do a specific oath of allegiance. Then they were one by one called up and given their citizenship certification. It was a really special moment. I spoke with Lele Tyne. She's from Burma, immigrating over into the United States. She couldn't speak English all that well, but she wanted to convey to me how special of a day this was for her and her family. She's been trying to get to the United States for 2 years, and now she can finally live here as a legal citizen. It was just a really special day for everyone involved.
Thanks, Chris. Student pre-sale tickets for a block party featuring SZA and Gucci Mane were supposed to go on sale today at noon, but shortly after the site went live, Ticketmaster was unable to process ticket sales, citing connectivity issues. As you can imagine, students were frustrated. UU responded stating the situation was out of their hands. In order to ensure fairness to all students, they began a new pre-sale at 5 p.m., adding that the vast majority of student tickets were still available. Block party is on April 27th in the Carrier Dome.
Student Association voting is officially open today. Students can vote for president and vice president, comptroller, and student assemblies for their home colleges. Voting can be done on MySlice, but there are also physical voting stations across campus. Tomorrow, students can head over to the Newhouse Atrium from 11 to 3 to vote in person. Voting ends this Thursday. And graduate students took to the quad today to protest a new Syracuse University policy that affects their health care benefits. Citrus TV reporter Zachary Levine has more on that policy change.
Well, today's protest was part of a larger effort by Syracuse Graduate Employees United to push for the university for affordable, quality health care. Earlier today, I got a chance to speak to one of the organizers of the protest about their effort. A rally for health care, a rally for unionization, a united front of graduate students employed here at SU.
Is intimately connected to the teacher.
This is Brandon Daniels, graduate student and teaching assistant. His message is simple. Grad student teachers at SU deserve affordable, quality health care.
The university made some unilateral decisions to move us off of the employee health insurance plan, which guarantees us good health insurance with a copay structure that allows us to have affordable health care. And they're moving us on to the student plan, which is designed for a younger population that doesn't use health insurance.
Daniels has one simple reason for why good health insurance is so necessary for grad student employees.
When we have to worry about medical bills, finding health insurance services, and finding mental health support, we're not able to attend to the needs of our students, and it's a disgrace that the university is caring so little about our rights as employees.
The other main objective of the protest was to push for the unionization of grad student employees at the university.
There's what's called a legal contract that collective bargaining establishes. In that contract, we could make demands on the university. For example, we could say we demand a 5% raise across the board to all graduate students. We could demand a co-pay health insurance system that is heavily subsidized by the university.
While the change may not come today, students at the rally hope this is a step in the right direction. Zachary Levine, CitrusTV News. As you saw there, although it was a small group, the protesters made their voices heard to the larger campus community. Now, we're unaware of any other planned follow-up demonstrations to this event.
A women student is taking to social media to express her frustration over what she feels was her wrongful removal from her position as president for the Entrepreneurship Club. Last Tuesday, Sarah Gross sent an email to a listserv she found online to promote the club's Entrepalooza event. The next day, Gross got a phone call from the Women Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Programs. Lindsay Quilty told her sending the email was illegal and against school policy. Groves was then removed from her position and Entrepalooza was delayed until April 13th. Citrus TV reached out to Quilty and was told she could not provide details due to student privacy laws. Groves said on LinkedIn she does not know what policy she broke. Groves told Citrus TV that meetings have been between herself and other club members, but she says she wasn't allowed to record the meetings, so she decided to leave right away. Groves has met with Quilty and is in the process of getting a formal hearing from Syracuse University.
Syracuse University's Division of Enrollment and the Student Experience has announced the senior class marshals for the class of 2019. Abigail Covington and Danielle Schaff have been selected to lead the class of 2019 and carry their class banner to the opening of their commencement ceremony. The class marshals for this year's commencement are Angie Patty and Gerald Brown. Syracuse University is among 13 journalism schools that are speaking out against the Sinclair Broadcast Group. The dean and department chairs of these schools addressed a letter to the company. In the letter, they highlighted their concerns over censorship and Sinclair's ethical decision to force 200 stations to read the same script about false news earlier last month. Dean Lorian Branham of the Newhouse School added her signature to the end of the letter.
A fourth victim from a Syracuse house fire last Thursday morning has died. Karina Du Bois succumbed from injuries yesterday afternoon at Upstate University Hospital. 3 other members of the family died shortly after the fire. Charles A. Du Bois, a relative of the family, has been charged with murder and arson. He's being held at the Onondaga County Justice Center without bail. And 6 Long Island teenagers are seriously injured after a bus returning from a spring break trip hit an overpass near Lakeview. The bus struck a bridge overpass shortly after 9 p.m. last night. According to police, all of the passengers except one were able to walk off the bus. Police also said they evaluated the driver and found he wasn't familiar with the commercial vehicle restrictions on the parkway near Lakeview.
The New York State Assembly is working to provide more training to combat human trafficking. A law proposed in Albany this weekend would require hotel workers to undergo training to better spot the signs of human trafficking. Some of these signs include large groups or young female guests with no license or credit card. There is no current vote scheduled on the law, but it could be taken up when the Assembly meets next week. Starbucks is proposing a new freestanding store with a drive-through in the town of DeWitt. The store will be located in the middle of the Erie Canal Center. Brixmore, the owners of the shopping plaza, will go before the town's planning board and pitch the proposal. The shopping plaza also houses a Dick's Sporting Goods, a Burlington, and a Michaels.
Well, Elissa, it seems for days on end now it's just been colder than normal here in Syracuse. However, today the temperature might insinuate that it's cold, but I thought with the sun out it was a little warmer than expected.
I'm just hoping for some spring sometime soon. We have Jenna Babyak in the studio to tell us what this looks like for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I know we saw some sun earlier today, but then the clouds came through. It got a lot chillier, and now it's currently 38 degrees, but it kind of feels even colder with the clouds and the wind and the sun disappearing. And taking a look at the radar today, we saw some clouds coming in throughout the day, seeing some snow down south a little bit more. Fortunately, not reaching Syracuse yet. Thanks, guys. I'll have your full forecast coming up later in the show.
Coming up, Facebook is notifying the 87 million users whose data was compromised. We'll tell you how you can find if your account was affected.
And Syria's government is suspected of launching a chemical attack in the suburb of Damascus. Hear President Trump's response after the break.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. that no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
New tonight, the FBI raided the office of President Trump's longtime lawyer, Michael Cohen. The New York Times reports the FBI seized several records, including payments to Stormy Daniels, who says she had an affair with the president.
The Times says federal prosecutors got a search warrant after getting a referral from special counsel Mueller, but the search does not appear to be directly related to the Russia investigation. Cohen says the search is inappropriate and unnecessary. Facebook users can now see if their data was compromised by Cambridge Analytica. The social media site has sent alerts to the 87 million accounts affected by the data breach.
If your data was taken, you will be given a link to see how your account was compromised. If you were not a victim of the breach, you'll get another alert that will direct you to a list of apps or websites that have permission to use your Facebook login. From there, you can adjust your privacy settings if you wish.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is in Washington preparing for his appearance before Congress over the data controversy.
Today, Zuckerberg is meeting with members of Congress, but tomorrow he will be in the hot seat. The CEO will testify before the Senate Commerce and Judiciary Committees tomorrow and the House Energy and Commerce Committee on Wednesday.
Congress will question Zuckerberg on how this data breach happened and how future ones can be prevented.
A teacher walkout in Oklahoma is now extended into its second week. Governor Mary Fallin had signed a bill providing $50 million in funding for schools while increasing the salaries of teachers and support staff.
But the teachers are saying it's not enough. They're demanding $150 million to replace decade-old textbooks, fund elective courses, and give higher raises for themselves and support staff.
U.S. Defense Secretary Mattis is not ruling out airstrikes on Syria after a suspected chemical attack in the suburbs of Damascus, the last foothold for Syrian opposition.
First responders say at least 40 people, mostly families and kids, were killed, plus 500 people were taken to medical centers with symptoms of a chemical attack.
The UN Secretary Council met today to discuss a global response. Meanwhile, President Trump says there will be a big price to pay if it was a chemical attack.
We are very concerned when a thing like that can happen. This is about humanity. We're talking about humanity. And it can't be allowed to happen.
Trump says he will make a major decision on the attack in the next 2 days. Syrian President Assad and its ally Russia have denied any involvement in the attack.
The situation escalated this morning after 14 people were reportedly killed in an airstrike on a Syrian airbase. Syria and Russia claim Israel is behind the attack.
A year ago, the Assad regime launched a sarin gas attack that killed more than 80 people as part of the country's ongoing civil war. North Korea is ready to start discussions over denuclearization. This is according to U.S. officials close to the president. Whether these talks of denuclearization mean halting weapon development or eliminating it altogether has not been further specified.
This comes in the wake of Pyongyang's offer to meet with President Trump in person. If the meeting happens, it'll be the first time a U.S. president and a North Korean leader sit down face to face. And more than $3 million has been raised for the Humboldt Broncos hockey team and their families after the fatal bus crash over the weekend. 15 people, including 14 teenagers on the junior hockey team, were killed after their bus collided with a tractor trailer. At least 14 other people were hurt.
The Saskatoon community has mobilized in many ways to help. A GoFundMe was set up to help pay for hospital bills and funeral costs, and many have turned out to give blood.
And coming up, when Citrus TV News Live at 6 returns, temperatures seem to be on the rise this week. Weather anchor Jenna Babyak will explain if spring is finally here to stay.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait, why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Now, taking a look at your weather for tonight, it's going to be getting even colder than it is now. It's dipping almost 20 degrees colder. It's going to be 26 degrees tonight, mostly cloudy, no precipitation though. And then looking at our future radar, we're seeing some light signs of storm coming in around the area. But right now, pretty cloudy, lots of cloud coverage coming in, but not too much precipitation. Until you wake up tomorrow morning around 8 a.m., we might see some snow flurries. Very small chance seeing a little bit of snow. Other than that, just a lot of cloud coverage when you wake up in the morning. And then planning your day, it's going to be pretty cloudy, clearing up a little bit. Looking at the morning, getting colder, and then in the afternoon, evening, it's getting a little warmer, still pretty chilly, high 30s, low 40s. Looking at current temperatures throughout the area right now, pretty consistent, little colder in the north, little warmer in the south. Other than that, very consistent, low 40s, high 30s. And then let's take a look at some allergies for this week. Now, people have been feeling a little bit of those allergy symptoms. They're pretty low, moderate, feeling some symptoms with the pollen. It's going to be getting even stronger throughout the week once the temperatures warm up to the weekend, and it's going to be getting even warmer, even more pollen in the air. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Jenna. Coming up in sports, we take a look at the upcoming men's lacrosse game between Syracuse and Cornell. Plus, the men's basketball team got some good news over the weekend. Don't go anywhere.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome to your Citrus TV Sports Update. I'm Adam Unger. Syracuse men's lacrosse had the weekend off, but they still climbed the rankings. The Orange is up to number 7 in the latest Inside Lacrosse poll. And their opponent tomorrow night, the Cornell Big Red, moved up to number 9. The last time SU traveled to Ithaca, they lost 10-9 in overtime. And head coach John Desko has high praise for this year's Cornell squad.
But even in their losses, you know, you got a 2-goal loss to Albany, and Albany, I think, won almost all the face-offs in that game. So for them to be that close with Albany when Albany had so many possessions, that says a lot. We scrimmaged Yale early in the year. We know how good.
Syracuse leads the all-time series against the Big Red 65-36. Their opening face-off will be at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night, and we apologize for the technical difficulties. Syracuse men's basketball got some good news on Sunday. Forward O'Shea Brissett announced that he's officially coming back next season. The freshman tweeted that he's, quote, ready for year 2, #unfinished business. Matt Moyer decided to transfer and Darius Baisley decommitted in the last 2 weeks. So Brissett's return is a huge boost for Syracuse. The Canadian averaged nearly 15 points and 9 rebounds per game this past season. At this point, the only other possible departure is shooting guard Tyus Battle. The deadline to declare for the NBA draft is next Sunday, April 22nd. And the Syracuse tennis program has been firing on all cylinders lately. Junior Gabriella Knutson is a top 10 player in the ITA singles poll. The Orange broke the top 25 as a team, and last weekend they took down the number 3 team in the land, sending the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets home with a stinging loss. This weekend, the Orange was in Florida, having won 5 of their last 6, but they came to a screeching halt. On Friday against Florida State, Knutson was one of just 2 wins for the Orange in a 4-2 loss. Dina Hagab's match was unfinished once the Seminoles came away with the victory, and it got worse for SU when they faced Miami. The number 18 Hurricanes swept the Orange 7-love. Syracuse's next matchup is at number 4 Duke on Friday. And Syracuse women's lacrosse couldn't pick up a win on the road either. SU lost to the Virginia Tech Hokies 15-14 in double overtime. Junior attack Nicole Levy scored a career-high 6 goals in the loss, but VT's Paige Petty had 5 goals of her own. The Orange still moved up from 18th to 16th in the Inside Lacrosse poll today. They faced number 5 UNC this Saturday. Syracuse women's basketball recruit Emily Engstler was named the MVP of the Jordan Brand Classic over the weekend. The New York native had 9 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists in 16 minutes of action. The 6'2" forward is also the New York State Girls Gatorade Player of the Year. Engstler is one of 2 5-star recruits in Coach Q's 2018 class. And a Russian hockey star could be returning to the metropolitan area. According to CBS Sports, Ilya Kovalchuk will sign with the New York Rangers this offseason. Kovalchuk's last NHL game was with the New Jersey Devils 5 years ago, but he's been keeping busy. In Russia's Continental Hockey League, he has averaged over a point per game. He was also named the most valuable player in men's hockey at the Pyeongchang Olympics. The deal with the Rangers is reportedly 2 to 3 years in length. And a Masters champion has been crowned. 27-year-old American Patrick Reed put on the green jacket after shooting just 1 under par on Sunday. By the end of the day, Ricky Fowler was within 1 stroke, but Reed's strong outings on Friday and Saturday helped him hang on to the lead. The Masters victory is Reed's first major and his 6th career win on the PGA Tour.
Now, Adam, going back to the Rangers, obviously a lot of Rangers fans here in Syracuse, myself included. After they missed the playoffs, they decided to part ways with Coach Alain Vigneault. How's the search for a new coach going?
Well, that announcement came over the weekend, and recently GM Jeff Gorton spoke to the media, and his biggest statement in that presser, was that the biggest qualifier is previous head coaching experience. So that'll eliminate some fan favorites from contention, such as Marc Messier and Marty St. Louis, but there is no decision on a final new head coach yet.
All right, thanks, Adam.
All right, Citrus TV News, we'll be right back.
I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
It was great seeing the sun out this morning. How do we see this week going? Is it going to be out for much longer?
Unfortunately, we're not really going to be seeing the sun much longer. If we take a look at the 5-day forecast, it's going to be pretty cloudy and rainy all week. So tomorrow morning, we might see a little bit of sun, but looking into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all clouds, all rain. Luckily, not too much rain going into the weekend, so you will be able to go outside and enjoy those nice temperatures in the 60s. But yeah, not really much sun,
I don't like
guys.
to see it. I want to be out there golfing, but thanks so much, Jenna.
And finally tonight, 2 goats found themselves stuck on an 8-inch ledge under an underpass in Pennsylvania. The goats accidentally found their way down there after wandering off from a local farm.
State police spotted the goats, and a crane was eventually used to rescue the pair. They were returned home safely. Well, what a great story. I'm glad the goats are okay.
That's a cute one. I like it a lot.
And that's all for Citrus TV News Live at 6. For details on these stories and more, check out citrustv.com. I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Elissa Candiotti. Have a great evening.